Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Wednesday, August the 10th. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in this live session to take a look at the market micro to macro, or macro to micro, I should say. Take a look at the structure of the market, then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. We do multiple hypotheses because we don't try to predict the market. We just create a plan to react to what the market does, and we have several plans because the market can do multiple things. This is a subscription room, so please, if you want to check us out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. It's just retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. We do these live sessions during the course of the day, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the RTH session. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so yesterday our main hypothesis was to move down between the 76 and 74, 76 the naked VPOC and 74 the value area low, and then we had overlapping value for the last couple days, and then we were looking for rotational or initiative buyers to step in and rotate us up through value, through range, and take out that 83 and go and put in an all-time new high. We didn't know how high it would be, but we didn't want to be short if we were above the 81 and a quarter. We traded that accordingly, and then we put in this 83.50, so we only two-ticked the Globex all-time high, which we've been talking about equalizing all week, and then we rotated down and we got back inside of value, and we rotated through value, and then we rotated up and we closed in the middle of value right back into balance in around that 77 area. Now, I initiated a swing short yesterday. I missed, I was long. I built up 5 3/4 points of theoretical average, built-in profits, and then I had a runner going, and I wanted to stay long, and I had a runner with my stop at 78 and a quarter, and then it came back down and took out my stop. Then we started reassessing the market and the fact that we had this little head and shoulder, we had a failed auction. We are coming back down. We have this Virgin. The prior all-time high in the RTH was 72.75, and we have not gone, since we broke it on Friday, we have not gone back and tested it. So, and then we left all this, this really juicy area below us down here between the 64. We've got a naked close at 64.75. We've got a naked VPOC at 64.50. We've got the CHV, or the microcomposite VPOC at 60.75. There's a naked VPOC at 59.75 and a naked VPOC at 53. So there's a lot of repair work to be done with our immediate target below that 72.75 at 67 and a quarter. So I've been talking about the possibility of building a swing short up here in the high 2100s. This was the first opportunity for me to attempt to do it that had structure and targets to go against. Do we have a weak high at 83.50 area? Absolutely. Do I think that we're going to hold below 83.50 after tonight's action? It's unlikely, but I can take the shot at it. So I started building a swing short. Get rid of this. And the first, Marvin and I took the same entry, the 26.75. I'm sorry, the 76.75. As our first, and then I said I'd continue to work the short. So right now I've got a runner going from 80.50, my last entry. Now a lot of people always ask me when I'm building these swing positions. My last runner, when we closed the RTH last night, I had the runner going from 75.75. So why wouldn't I just, and my Theo average at that time was 21.80.50. I had 5 3/4 points. That gave me 21.86 1/4 Theo all overall. 80.50 on the actual trade, and then 5 3/4 points of profit that I already built. And a lot of people always ask me, well, why will you let it come back against you? Why wouldn't you just close out and re-enter rather than just letting it fluctuate? Well, the thing with the swing short is you're preparing yourself for the possibility of a quick and deep move that you may miss. So the goal when I'm working a swing short is to continue to add into it and scale out and build Theo so that I can get my Theo above the next time frame rotation. And we were talking about this yesterday. I was working to get my stop above the 83.50 and build enough Theo that I could put my stop, and my stop right now currently is at 84 1/4. No, sorry, I moved it to 84.75. So it's at 84.75, and if you look at where my Theo is, so it's above the larger time frame rotations. My actual on this is 21.83 1/4. So my Theo on this particular open trade that I worked as a swing position is 21.83 1/4, and then I've got that 5 3/4 that I've committed to use to try to see if I can hold on to this this trade, and I'll continue to sell rallies. Currently, right now, my Theo is now up to 21.89, so I can risk up anywhere up into that 21.89. Now I got to pay for commissions, so I'm looking at my commissions and I'm looking at where I know I'm wrong. And if they get up in above the 83.50, I'm probably going to be wrong, and I'll probably let this trade go at 84.75. And even though I would give back some of the profit, that's not the point of the trade. The point of the trade is I'm trying to build something here and hold it for a bigger target, because we've got solid structure and solid targets below us. And I'm basing a lot of this on Marty Schwartz, the pit boss, the pit bull, and I'm thinking that he has a theory that the Thursday and Friday we'll see the week's low come in. This is the week before expiration, so I'm letting all that play out, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm attempting it, and I was pretty excited about it last night because it's the best trade idea that's come up in a couple weeks because of this churn. So we're taking a shot at it. So going back to the homework and setting up for our session, obviously take a quick look at the composite. Your 3-day balance now is at 77. We have a CHVN at 21.8175. That's up where the VPOC was or is from yesterday. We got a little bit of LVN and microcomposite LVN here at 20.80 1/4, 20.81 or 21.81. I'm just writing this down because I'm doing this homework on the fly. Okay, and we're trading 80.75. So right now, our Globex high is 81.75. 81.75. 81.50. So our overnight high is 81.50. One tick below the VPOC from yesterday. Our overnight low is 74.50. 2 ticks from the month open. Our overnight VPOC is not likely to shift. 21.80 could shift down to 21.79 if we trade there a little bit more, but most likely 21.80. We have this LVN here at 77, but our value area low is 76.75, so that's going to become a trade area. And that's all the information I really need from overnight. What's the volume so far overnight? Light volume overnight so far. All right, so don't need this anymore. Expand this out. So we've got this LVN at 80.75. We've got the micro composite LVN at 21.81. So obviously I'm going to use this as a trade area. Above that 80.75, I'm gearing towards the 81.75. And then our value area high is 82.75, but it's really, I've got to risk up to, or I've got to put my trade level at 83.50. I can get aggressive if I'm going to try to get long. I can get long above the 82.75 into that, but to be safe, I got to be breaking out of the 83.50. And then we still have measured moves at 85.50, 87, and our daily ATR continues to tighten. Our daily 20-period ATR is 15.55. So based on the overnight low at 74.50, we have a daily ATR upside target, basically where it was yesterday. It's still at 21.90 and a quarter. And then above that, we've got the 2200, and there's nothing to guide us up there. So if we get back above the 83.50 and start making new highs, basically you want to try to stay long, towards that 2100, of course. Below us, very similar to yesterday, we're going to be, we don't have a lot inside of the value area except for this LVN, but we do have the midpoint and the VWAP from yesterday. It's 78.75, so I'm going to use that as a target below. We had a fair amount of volume coming in there at the 78.75 yesterday, and then we've got the naked close at 77.75, that's secondary target, and then of course the value area low at 76.75, and then we don't have anything until we get down to the 74.50, and then we've got a whole bunch of stuff down here. We've got the month open at 74, we've got the range low at 73.75, we've got the range high and the gap at 73 and a quarter, we've got the virgin retest of what was resistance and now could be support at 72.75. We've got the 50% of the significant breakout candle on Friday at 72.50, and then we've got that target at this should be 21.70.50, and then the also the micro composite LVN, our warning line is at that 72.75, and then we've got the 67 and a quarter, which is the value area high, and the CHVN below the 72.75. So 67 and a quarter becomes an important level for us to hold, and then that 65.50, and then the big target below, which is down here at the 21.60.75, the microcomposite VPOC, but also we've got that naked close and naked VPOC at 64.75 and 64.50. So those are all the levels. They haven't really changed much to the downside. So what's my main hypothesis? We're going to likely open up in range and value. I'm looking for them to come down. I can build the swing position short all I want, but I still have to go with basic auction logic. So, my hypos may be contrary, my main hypo will be contrary to my actual position right now. And I have multiple accounts, so I can trade one account to the long side and still let this swing short work and take opportunities if they set up to the short side. So main hypothesis is not going to change. It's going to be an open auction out of range. I'm expecting quite a bit of chop on the open, but basically I'm looking for a move down to close the naked close in the gap, test the lower side of the value area, and somewhere between the 74 and the overnight, the month open 74 and 76.75, very similar to yesterday. We were looking at 76 and 74, somewhere here for responsive buyers to step in and rotate us up through range, through value, and go make a new high and hit some of these measured moves on our way towards the 2200. That's hypo 1. So hypo 1 is an open auction, chop, move down, chop, find buyers, move up through value, chop, break out, and go make new highs. That's hypo 1. Hypo 2 is an open auction in range, a move up, a failure to break out or a false breakout, find responsive sellers and rotate us back down to take out the naked close and chop around in the 74 to 76 area, and then fail and move down and test that 72.75, closing the range gap at 73.25, and then get a late day probe down towards this 67. We have range capabilities on both sides of this like we did yesterday. So the hypos are almost identical. Hypo 3 is an open auction in range, a move up, chop at the 83.50 area, break up and go and make a gap and not a gap and go, but leaving this naked close, a continuation day and a push up into the 90s and possibly up into the 2200. Could get a continuation day. Hypo 4 is an open auction in range, a push down, fail, and then get a bigger move down into the 60.75 area and get a big trend day down. Low probability of that happen. So those are the 4 hypos. Again, I don't have a lot of faith in my swing short right now, because reality is showing me that it's looked like we're going to get a move to break the 83.50. I'm out at 84.75, and I got paid for that opportunity to do that. If they fail, fantastic. If they failed to take out that 80, maybe they might even just go up. I might even put my stop up a little bit higher, but I got to calculate how much commission I've got to pay for, and just make sure that all my commission is paid for. And hey, it's a good exercise. It's summer. It's a summertime. Sure, I'm giving back profits that I've already built up, but that's the goal of the swing trade. You have to allow. You can't sweat the little wiggles. You're on a different mission. You're operating in a different time frame, or you've earned the right to participate in a larger time frame, but you can't put your mind back to operating in that in the smaller time frame rotations. Anyway, the Keltner center line is sitting at 77.50. Our upper Keltner test is going to basically give us a test of a new high and probably get a line walk up to that 85. If we get below the Keltner center line, a move down to the lower line is likely to test us. By the time we get there, it's probably going to be the 72.75 area, 72.50 area for the Keltner lower line. So that's going to complete our pre-market session, trying to keep these sessions a little bit shorter. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.